Hello there, and welcome to Andre's YouTube vlog for July 21st, 2012. Well, luckily for us, the heat wave that we've been in for the past 2 or 3 weeks has sort of ended, and it has been in the 70 to 80 degree range for the last couple of days. And because it's midsummer, that means yard sales. And for the first time that I can remember, at least in a little while, a yard sale is taking place in the garages right outside my window at this particular moment between three of the neighbors we have around us. And yesterday, because there were so many people who were coming around and sometimes parking in 3 parking spaces, and that's a whole other story anyway, my family and I decided to go on a trip to the coast. We decided to go to Bar Harbor and visit a place called the Thuyu Gardens and Asaku Gardens, which is a beautiful place. While we were there, I don't, because I'm older, I don't spend every moment with my family. We get together once in a while just to kind of, catch up on things and whatever. But when we were down at the Asaku Gardens, it was about 6 at night. My mother and father and I encountered an earthworm that was being, well, this is a rather disgusting thing to say, but it was being eaten by a group of, I would say, about 50 or 60 red fire ants. My father found this an interesting observation, and I looked at it the same way. But my mother was very upset, and she kept trying to kick the ants away, saying that it's cruel to eat that animal alive. And all of that. And I wondered why she was applying humanitarian rules to creatures that were not human. Because, in a way, I've always believed that applying human rights to every creature is inherently racist. To animals and to any creatures we may meet, even from another planet in the future. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But it also got me to thinking about something else that's important about the summer, and that's the human rights we give and deny of ourselves. And this goes back to something that happened a couple of days ago. A friend of mine online was a former friend of mine online, I should say, actually told me that they believed all my videos were a downer on YouTube. And this was actually very important to his particular situation because he represented something that I've encountered, speaking of human rights, online a lot lately, especially on Facebook. They've altered a lot of their security precautions. But I've noticed in the past 3, 4, maybe 5 years, during the summer, especially on Facebook, I get a lot of friends invitations from people I don't know. And the story is always the same. These people are, forgive the use of an unpleasant word, perhaps, sexually obsessed. I don't see why sex should be an unpleasant word, but to some people it is, so I just say that. Anyway, no more rambling. They talk endlessly about who your lovers are, who you know, where you live, where do they live, blah, 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 trying to get all this information out of you. And, me being a person aware of internet safety and protecting myself, will just say to them, don't you have anything to talk about other than knowing every moment of my life? Don't you have any interests, music, art, movies, favorite foods? But it always comes back to who you're seeing, who you're romantically involved with, blah, 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 blah. So you start talking to them loosely about it. And these people will always say to you, at least they say to me, well, you know what? We're going to talk to your friends online. We're going to see what they think. We're going to find the truth from them. And as far as I'm concerned, at that particular point, these people become stalkers. Because they are essentially violating your right to be, as it were, your right to privacy. And as the Todd Rundgren song Hideaway says, there are things we all have a right to hide. from people we don't know well. And as I've talked a lot about in my YouTube vlogs in the past, it's because of situations like this, and I know the summer brings it out, that there's a whole list online now of stalker songs, songs that are thought to encourage stalking. And that's actually a crazy remark to make, because some of these songs include things that everybody knows, sometimes songs we even laugh over or dance to. The Jackson 5's I'll Be There, and Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up are on the stalker song list. And it's absurd and kind of sad. How could a song encourage somebody to stalk a person? And it just gives people like this person I had the incident with on Facebook, and the many others. There have been 5 other people, actually, this summer alone who have done this, and there are usually quite a few. How a song could affect what they did. It takes responsibility away from their actions. These people don't need a song to do this. It's something in their minds. It's something that makes these people want to invade your life, who want to create war on your privacy, who want to wage war on your privacy. And they want you to be paranoid. They want you to say, oh, the internet's a terrible place. And I know a lot of people who do that. But it's not. The internet is very vital to my life, as I'm sure it is many of you for different reasons. And I have no intention of going off it because of said people. I just learn a lesson each time. And the only lesson I wish I would learn was that, make sure you're very careful who you add on Facebook. But that's part of the scary thing. You never actually know, on or offline, who's going to be a problem. And that's why I was questioning the incident with the worm the other day. We're talking about an earthworm, thinner than a pencil. It operates entirely by instinct. So do the ants, that they need, and they act to satisfy that need. They don't think about harming the animal. They don't have the kind of emotional complexity that we do. They have a different kind of complexity that we can't understand. It's true. As I said in the previous vlog, people anthropomorphize animals. But really, it wasn't the worm that had the problem with it. It wasn't the ant or the group of ants. It was human beings who had the issue with that. And I think that in terms of stalkers, in terms of applying rights to animals that are not ourselves, or creatures that are not ourselves, we simply have to become less arrogant as a people and realize that we have to turn on our little inner existentialist and take responsibility for our own actions instead of butting into the business of others. Either unnecessary concern over one animal harming the other in one case, or a stalker butting his way into your life or her way into your life on another. Just some food for thought on how to deal with people socially in the summer, and how to deal with unpleasant animal incidents you might see. This is Andre signing out. See you next time.